Good morning. Today we are on pages 39 and 40, and on these pages we're going to be reviewing how to use order of operations. Remember, to do order of operations for each question, you should be writing PEMDAS. Parentheses, exponent, multiply and divide from left to right, add and subtract from left to right. So write down PEMDAS for each of these questions that involve order of operations. Okay, question number 1. Mrs. Hall wrote the expression 2 times 3 plus 5 squared divided by 4 on the board. Cheyenne said the first step in evaluating the expression is to evaluate 5 squared. Explain Cheyenne's mistake. So again, write PEMDAS next to it and then explain what she did wrong if you were following PEMDAS. Then you need to evaluate the expression, which means to use PEMDAS to solve it correctly. So 2 answers. 1, what step did she do wrong? And then 2, you need to actually solve it correctly using PEMDAS. Question number 2. Select the expressions that are equivalent to 32. So you got to solve them. So for A, you're going to write 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, multiply those out, see if it's equal to 32. For B, you're going to write 8 times 8 times 8 times 8, multiply those out, see if it's equal to 32. So for each one, A through D, multiply them out and see if they are equal to 32. Mark all of them that are equal to 32. For question number 3, you need to fill in the exponents. So how many 3's do we have? Put the exponent here. How many 5's? Put the exponent here. For question number 4, it says write 4 to the third power using repeated multiplication. That means what times what times what are you going to write down, and then find the value by multiplying it out. Question number 5. Mr. Ruiz writes the expression 5 times 2 plus 1 squared divided by 3. Chelsea says that the first step is to evaluate 1 squared. Explain Chelsea's mistake. Again, write down PEMDAS and then explain why you do not do 1 squared first. What goes first in PEMDAS. Then you're going to use PEMDAS and actually solve it to get the correct answer. So 2 steps. Pause this until you're ready to go to number 6. Okay, question number 6. Carl evaluates the expression 5 plus 4 squared minus 5 times 2. So it says Carl shows her work, or I'm sorry, it's Kari, shows her work on the board. Use numbers and words to explain her mistake. So where did she go wrong? Write down PEMDAS first next to it. Look at PEMDAS. What should she do first? Explain what she should do first. And then for part B, you're going to use PEMDAS and solve it correctly. Make sure you follow order of operations using PEMDAS. Pause your video until you're ready to check your work. Okay, let's see how you did. Question number 1. The mistake is you have to do what's in parentheses first because PEMDAS starts with P. So you have to do 3 plus 5 first before you square it. So when you're solving it, you have 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 squared is 64. Then you work left to right and you go 2 times 64 is 128 divided by 4 is 32. For question number 2, A is yes, B is no, C is yes, and D is yes. For question number 3, you should have 3 to the fourth power and 5 to the second power. For question number 4, 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. For question number 5, again, you need to do what's inside the parentheses first. So you have to do 2 plus 1 is 3 before you square it. So 5 times 3 squared, which is 9. So 5 times 9 is 45. And then divided by 3 is 15. Okay, question number 6. Again, you got to do what's in parentheses first. You have to add before you square it. So she should have done 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 squared is 81. Minus 5 times 2, so minus 10 is 71. Because remember, you got to multiply this first before you subtract. So you take 9, you square it, you get 81. Then you have to multiply 5 times 2 and get 10 before you subtract last and get 71. If you have any questions on how to use PEMDAS, make sure you email me. Have a great day.